What's up, everybody? Welcome back to my channel. This video is going to be documentation of what I do when I purchase the sick and dying plants that are on clearance. Because I do this way too often, and I figured, you know what, let me just take you for the ride because I gotta do it anyway. Might as well document it and yeah, and show you how it works. Anyway, this is a prayer plant, Maranta red prayer plant to be exact, and it was on clearance, and you can see why. Most of the plant, it was a bunch of cuttings that were put into one pot, and most of them are, you know, they need help, let's put it that way. But they're alive enough that I'm sure that most of, if not all, will survive. Crossing fingers. Anyway, I took them out of the pot, I cleaned off the roots, and got all the soil off the roots. You can see there's one little tuber here. I love these little potatoes. They have tubers, the Marantas, and I believe the Calatheas too, and maybe even the Tenanthes, I'm not sure. Maybe Stromanthes. Anyway, Maranta. So what I'm gonna do first is cut off any leaves that are not going to make it and not benefit the plant. This one has a chance of making it. I'm gonna leave it on because it's the only leaf that's here, so I figured let me just give it a shot, see if it works, if it survives. This one here has a lot to be removed, so anything that is all shriveled up, as you can see, these were so neglected at the store. I'm just gonna pull off the whole leaf. Okay, as long as there are no roots that I'm pulling off with it, it should be fine. Let me just cut it like so. Okay, that's one. This one is half good, so I'm gonna leave half of it on. Any viable leaf I'm gonna leave on so it can photosynthesize, but anything that will not make it I'm gonna cut off, because number one, it's not gonna benefit the plant because it can't photosynthesize if it's not doing well, and two, it's going to deplete the plant of moisture. So it looks like this growing tip is not good, but only where the leaves are. So what I'm gonna do is cut those leaves off. I'm gonna cut the sheath off as well, because there's no need for this. This leaf here, it's weird because the end of it feels okay, but the base of it is not, as you can see. And anything that shows like this, you can see that there's brown around here. This is like dead tissue. So there isn't going to be any nutrients getting to the rest of this leaf if it's dead around that. So what I'm going to do is cut that off and just leave what isn't dead, which is just a little piece like that, okay? Little tiny leaf. This one, it looks like half of the leaf is good, so I'm just going to leave half. So I'll cut this like this and like that. Okay, so there is some photosynthesis going on, and this is what we're left with for this cutting. The root system looks good, okay? So I don't think there will be too much of an issue, but you never know. This could be too far gone. We will find out together. Okay, this one, this whole growing point here needs to come off because it's completely shriveled and dead. This whole leaf, actually, I'm going to leave just the center because the center looks like it's okay. So I'm going to do this again. Leave just the middle of the leaf. Minimize the transpiration, but possibility of making food through photosynthesis is there. Actually, let me cut this off here. Okay. And this leaf is no good, and so is the whole growing tip. So I'm going to cut it right to where it wilts, right to where it is dead. And I'm hoping that we can get a new branch coming out somewhere over here where the node is. So these plants are really awesome because they root very easily and they grow relatively quickly. They root at the nodes, right? And they branch also at the nodes. So any place you have a node, as you can see, you can get roots and you can get a branch. This was a new branch, a new sprout growing there. So up here, I'm hoping to get a new one. I'm gonna cut off all of this because you can see this is not good. This is all dead. So we're going to cut all this off like that, okay? This leaf, relatively good for the most part. This leaf, just a portion of it's good. I may end up cutting this off if it starts to decline. We will see though. So that is, oops, that is number 3. Let me just get rid of all the stuff I cut. Doesn't belong here. Okay, so that's 3, and last but not least, okay, this leaf, no bueno, and it looks like it's yellow all the way down. So I'm gonna cut the entire thing off. I don't think this branch will make it. Okay, sheath is coming off as well. All right, this leaf, definitely not gonna make it. So I'm gonna pull off the whole sheath like that. Okay, these 2 leaves are good, right? You can see, this is the one with the little potato, with the little tuber. It rooted wherever the nodes are, and up here, where the elbow and this node is, it also started to root. As you can see right there's a little root. So I'm gonna submerge all of these in water, okay, in a little vase that I have here, and I'm gonna make sure I submerge all the way up to that node, and possibly any other nodes that, oh, I got, the sheath is still here. And I'm gonna watch these, because anything that starts to go downhill, any pieces that look viable now that eventually start to rot, I want to remove them immediately. You know what? I'm thinking of removing this. Well, I'll wait. I'll wait for this one to rot if it's not going to make it. Because there is a chance it might, but it's starting to turn a color. No, you know what? I'm going to cut it off. Because I have a feeling that it's not going to make it. So we're going to cut this off like that. I'm going to cut the base off like that. All right. Here we are with our cuttings. I'm going to put them in the water. I'm going to keep it nice and warm. And check on the leaves. Make sure if they start to curl like this, you could tell this is dehydrated because the leaves are curling. That's what they do. Prayer plants fold up at night, but when they curl, that means that they're dehydrated. They're lacking moisture or a way to uptake moisture. These leaves are fine, you could see, right? This one here too. So we'll see how these do, and I'm gonna check them every day, make sure that nothing that's below the water is dying or rotting, because I will just take out the roots, clean them off, put them back in with some fresh water, and at least one of these will be fine. I'm hoping for more than just one. There's 4 in there, I think, right? So we have a good shot at 4 of them. We'll see how many survive though. And that's usually what I do, at least for Maranta, for the prayer plants, when they're on clearance, because for the holiday season, people were not taking care of them at the store. So anyway, if you have any questions about my rehab methods for Marantas, prayer plants, or any other type of plant in water culture, because I usually use the water culture method to rehab most of the house plants that I save from the stores, just reach out. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Hit that bell if you want to be notified, and I will see you in the next video.